Okay, we're live, sir. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the coaches meeting for the Australia Taekwondo Online National Poomsae and Self-Defense Championships. My name's Dr. Eric Gilson. I'm one of the VASTIC event staff. With me, we have the tournament organizer, Master Ross Hartnett. Today, we're going to be going over some general information, specifically around online competitions and how they differ from in-person events. So before we begin the presentation, is there anything you'd like to open with, Master Hartnett?
Just welcome to everybody. This is our first online competition, so we hope that you'll have a little bit of patience with us. We hope it runs smoothly, but as many things when you're doing it first, we're learning to a certain extent as we go. So we hope to deliver enjoyable competition for you with the assistance of VASTIC, and we hope that everyone is satisfied with the competition at the end. Just to let you know, there will only be 2 days of competition. That will be Sunday the 31st and the 7th of November.
Thank you, sir. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and begin the presentation. Okay. So here we've got our timeline. We've already had the entries close on the 12th of October. Earlier this week, we posted the division list for review for the athletes and coaches, and we've received a number of corrections, so those have been updated. Currently, we're doing the coaches meeting, and near the end of the meeting, we'll do the Poomsae draw. Once the meeting concludes, we'll have the video upload period starting. We anticipate the initial emails will go out around 7:30 Sydney time, and the upload period will officially start at midnight tonight. We have the 2 competition days, October 31st and November 7th. And now I'm moving on to some of the competition rules, and I'm going to pass it over to Master Hartnett to go through some of the specifics on the rules.
Okay, when it comes to scoring, it's exactly the same as non-competition. Okay, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind. Videos that have been edited or show proof of editing, so that will be a disqualification. And these rules are constant with WT rules. Contestants not submitting their video on time, that's totally the responsibility of the competitor and coach. So if you don't do it, there is no appeals process. It's just disqualification. Virtual backgrounds, religious or political displays, you can't have that. There are no appeals to these apart from the virtual background with religious or political displays. You can question it to the CSB, but it would have to be something that's ambiguous. Contestants who submitted videos used in other competitions. So if someone reports that you've done that and they see that, then you can actually be disqualified after the competition as well. So if the information comes in afterwards and it's proven, you can be disqualified. Contestants competing in the wrong division. So you have to ensure that all the information you've given is correct. If it's seen that you're in the wrong division, you can be disqualified after the competition. So if someone reports that someone is a different group level or grade or age, then we will investigate that. Music in non-freestyle Poomsae, that's fairly obvious. Okay, penalties outside the normal penalties. You can lose 0.6 for video quality, less than the published resolution and frame rate guidelines. So you can do more than the published resolution, but that's the minimum of each that's on the package. If you do less, you will lose 0.6, and that will be automatic through VASTIC. They'll be able to tell the resolution. 0.3 accuracy deduction for each movement where part of the athlete's body leaves the frame. So you have to ensure when your athletes film that that doesn't happen. Obviously, with online competition, you have the opportunity to refilm if something goes wrong. So again, that's entirely the responsibility of the athlete and the coach. 0.6 accuracy deduction each time the whole body leaves camera shot. I think that's fairly easy to work out. 0.6 wearing incorrect dobok and or wearing incorrect belt. As this competition, we're not requiring people to wear pom belts unless it's the WT section. Wearing any kind of shoes, socks, or other footwear is 0.6. Wearing jewelry except wedding bands, which cannot be removed, is 0.6. These are all consistent with WT online rules. Self-defense is a new category. So it's 0.2 for video quality, less than published resolution and frame rate guidelines. 0.1 deduction for each movement where a part of the athlete's body leaves the frame. 0.2 deduction each time the whole body leaves camera shot. Video editing of any sort will result in disqualification. Videos used in other competitions will result in disqualification. Now, the deductions are less because the total score for self-defense is less. That's why there's a difference in deductions. Okay, the resolution and frame rate requirements are showed in this clip here. So if you need to take a screenshot, you can, but they appear on the package. There's instructions on the package. And again, if you want to take a screenshot here, that gives you an idea of what you should do. This is pretty standard for all WT online competitions. Okay, for the upload procedure, I'll hand you back to Eric.
Thank you, sir. So I'm going to switch over, and so I'm going to bring over one more window. So later today, everyone will receive an email looking something like this, and there'll be a big green button that says click here to upload your video. A copy of the division list for your specific division is available on this dark blue button. And then down below on these light blue buttons, we'll have directions on how to record with Apple devices, how to record with Android devices, and then a general guide on how to upload videos. So you receive an email that has all the information needed to upload, and every single athlete and every event will receive a separate email. So if an athlete's doing both pair and team and individual, they'll receive one for their pair and team and one for their individual. Finally, down below, there's a link that'll open up an email that sends it directly to VASTIC's help email. So any issues with uploading, you can email the upload@vastic.com. So now let's take a look at what the website looks like when you click on the green button. It'll take you to a page, and this is a test database similar to this. It'll show the athlete name. It'll show the athlete flag, and we'll be using the Australia state flags here. And it'll give the athlete division. So please make sure all this information is correct. If not, please send us an email and we'll get it corrected. On top, it'll have a submission period timer, so it'll let you know how long until it closes. And then down below, there'll be boxes where you can upload each video for each Poomsae. And note that it'll only show you the boxes you need to upload. So in this example, this athlete is starting in the semifinal round. But if your division starts only in the final round, only the finals boxes will be visible. There'll be no semifinal boxes. I believe we only have 2 or 3 divisions starting in semifinals, so most will only have these. And if a division only has one Poomsae, it'll only have one box visible. Now this is as simple as selecting a file, and let me navigate to that. Um, so when you've navigated to your file, you can simply click on the file and click open, and it'll start the upload process. So while you see this percentage, please stay on the page. The file's still uploading, but you can start other files at the same time if you would like. Okay, once the file finishes, it'll show a little black and white image of the file or of the video. And it'll also tell you if the file has passed or failed any of the automated checks. This video, we see the green text, it's passed all the automated checks. But if I scroll down to this video previously uploaded, it had failed one of the checks. So here, the video was only 1080 by or 1280 by 720 instead of 1920 by 1080. So this one failed the resolution check. So it'll have similar checks um, for the frame rate and also minimum time for things like freestyle. So if there's any red text here, please read it and correct the video and then re-upload. After you've checked if your video meets the resolution and duration requirements, you can navigate away from this page. While it's saying this video is processing, there's nothing you need to do on this page. Once the video finishes processing, let's see if it's finished. Nope. You'll receive a second email saying the video is processed, and you'll be able to navigate back to the page to rewatch the video. So you see here, this video is watchable. That'll show you the exact video that'll be played during the competition. So we strongly encourage all athletes to rewatch their videos to make sure there are no errors in them. And if you have any questions as I'm going through this, please feel free to use the chat or Q&A functions, and we'll be sure to answer all of those. So are there any questions on the upload procedure? Okay. So let's see. So after the upload procedure, so just a general timeline for the upload procedure, check your email this evening. We should be sending out the emails around 7:30 Sydney time. Verify the link works and it shows your name and division. Then please record your videos, upload each video in the correct place online, ensure your videos have passed the automated checks, and then once you've received the email saying we're done processing, please review your videos. So I received a question, what's the max file size? So there is no max file size on the upload, because we know that if people are uploading, say, a 4K video at 60 frames a second, that'll be quite a large file. Question, if you've already recorded the 2 patterns in one video, can you split the video? So the videos have to be uploaded separately by the athlete. So you'd have to split the video on your side. Vastic does not do any video splitting. The upload can, right. The question is, will the upload be quite slow if it's a large file? The upload really depends on your internet speed. So yes, if it's a large file and your internet speed is low, it can take a while. So please definitely just give it time while it's uploading. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the Poomsae draw at this point. And before I do that, I'm going to copy and paste some information in chat for everyone so you can actually follow along live. So I just posted 2 links in chat, and those are the exact links that we'll be using, so you can see everything happening live through those links as well. Okay, so I'm going to move to the first link, and this will be all of the individual divisions. So we'll begin with drawing the individual divisions. Okay, so we're going to start with the cadet female. Oh, let me refresh. There we go. So we have the draw for the cadet female. And please note that we're drawing Poomsae for both the semifinal and final round, even if your division only starts in finals. So even if you see the semifinals, note that we are only playing the round based on your division size. Now we'll do the junior female, under 30 female, under 40 female, under 50 female, under 60 female, and over 65 female. Moving on to the males, we have the cadet male, junior male, under 30 male, under 40 male, under 50 male, under 60 male, under 65 male, and over 65 male. So let me try to get it centered so we can see all of them. So here we've got the full draw for all of the individual. In a moment, I'll switch over to the pairs and teams. So now I'm going to switch over to pairs and teams. So here we've got the junior pairs, cadet team female, under 30 team female, and over 30 team female, cadet team male, and over 30 team male. So here we have the draws for all the pairs and teams. So with that, so I'll leave this up for a moment just to make sure everyone has a chance to capture it. Okay, and now we'll move back to the presentation. Are there any additional questions that we can answer? Because we've concluded what we needed to cover for today.
Just a note that the actual athlete draw, the order, will come out in the next day or two.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I'll give people another minute or so just in case they're typing something. And while they're up, could we have the individual list again? Yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. So I will switch back to the individual list. So there's the individual list. And I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, there we go. I forgot the header fit. There we go. So now we can show everything on screen. Do I know if a division has semis? So how do you know if your division has semis? So there are 2 ways. One is the division list that was published would have the 8 or more athletes. The other is when you go to the link for your division, it'll actually show semifinal form boxes. if you don't see semifinal form boxes, so like this athlete would have semifinals. You see both the semifinal forms and the final forms. If you only see finals, you start in finals.
Also be aware that all championships divisions don't have semi-finals. They're just all straight finals. And in fact, there's only 3 divisions with semi-finals in WT.
Okay, so we have a question to confirm the resolutions. So I will switch back because we have that on the slides. So the resolutions for WT Poomsae, Championship Poomsae, and Para Taekwondo Poomsae are 720p at 30 frames per second. So this is usually on the Vastic uploader. If I switch back to that quickly, you see how it'll display the actual screen dimensions. So 1280 by 720 is 720p. So in our example checker, we've actually set it to the higher 1080p. Here we've got freestyle has the higher requirement, 1080p at 60 frames per second. And self-defense also has the higher requirement at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So this is a question for you, Master Hartnett. What audible instructions would you like to have in the videos so that there's consistency in videos for starting and ending patterns?
Yeah, it's the same as normal. So it's chariot kunye, okay, and at the end you finish. Okay? So there's no difference to online. So the person given the instructions will give the instructions the same as normal. What we'll do is we'll send something out for those that don't know what the normal instructions are within the next couple of hours.
Thank you, sir.
You won't lose points. Yes, you can call out the commands yourself. We understand some people, because of COVID, don't have the option of going to a dojang. And look, if your commands are not totally standard, you're not going to get deductions. We understand the current circumstances. You've seen where you can lose points. On other issues, you'll be fine. So for instance, it will show the competitor, it will show the form, so we know all those things.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So do we need to announce the Poomsae we're doing and our name when we do our recording? There's no need to announce any of that because your upload page is unique to you. Only the email address that the athlete had when they registered will have that link. So there's no need to announce your name or Poomsae you're performing. But
Yeah,
that does mean
the judges will see the Poomsae that you're doing on screen. So all that will be on the video when it's presented online for people to see, and the judges will see that. All you have to do is make sure you do the correct Poomsae.
And upload the Poomsae to the correct place because we have had past tournaments where people recorded the correct two Poomsae but uploaded them backwards. So please make sure you pay attention there. Can you film the finals Poomsae on 2 separate days at different locations?
Yeah, as long as you stick to the rules, there's no problem with that because you upload the videos separately. So there will be no deduction if they're in 2 different locations.
What is the difference between competition on the 31st of October and the 7th of November?
One is the WT divisions and one is the championship divisions.
Yes, so I believe we've got the WT on the 31st and championship on the 7th. So I've got 2 questions that are essentially the same. If you record at 1080p at 60 frames per second for championship, will this be too high? No. If you can record in higher, we definitely recommend that. there is no penalty for recording too high. The only issue is if you record too low compared to the requirements. So recording at the higher for the championship is perfectly acceptable. Do you want the athlete to walk onto and off of the mat for video or just start on the mat?
It doesn't matter. You're not going to lose any deductions for that. So it's okay to walk on and off if you wish. So if the athlete wants to, that's fine. But remember that you're doing the videos one at a time. So it's not necessary to walk on and off because you can finish the video while they're standing in the middle. Okay, so the first video, for instance, can finish, okay, with them waiting in the middle, okay, and then the next video can start when they're in the middle or walking on, whichever you prefer. What I would say is it saves length in your video if you start in the middle.
So will there be a recording of this Zoom chat available for playback and reference? Yes, there is actually. Currently, we're broadcasting it to YouTube. So let me publish that link. So it's going to be published on YouTube and available for viewing by everyone for reference. Okay. Oop, I went too far in the presentation. Okay. So are there any final questions? Okay, and I don't see we have any questions on YouTube. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. Thank you,
Could
Mr.
I
Hart.
just,
Yes, sir.
just one word. For the WT divisions, it will be a selection for our online competition. We've only been able to say that we're still doing the selection policy for it because we've got notice for the Asian Taekwondo Union President's Cup. So we will be selecting a team from this championships for that.
Thank you, sir.
Someone asked another question.
The WT.
I think they've got it.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you all for attending. You should be receiving the emails to the, and remember the emails will be coming to the email address the athlete registered with for all of the uploads within the next hour or so. And the upload period officially starts at midnight tonight. So thank you all. And
as I said, we'll send something out with instructions, but I wouldn't worry too much. As long as you do Chumbi, okay, or sorry, Kunye, Chumbi and Sijak, and do the finish, you'll be fine. Okay? We're not going to take deductions off if you don't call the exact commands.
okay. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, once again. I will now end the meeting.